What's going on, guys? Chase with iDub Hockey, hanging out with JD, category manager of skates for Bauer Hockey. Usually we would do this on the ice in New Hampshire. I'm hanging out in my house in California. And JD, where are you at right now?
I'm at our global headquarters here in beautiful Exeter, New Hampshire, and just enjoying as much as I can in these different times. So looking forward to today.
Definitely. Well, players who have the edge holder should be looking forward to this new pulse line. A couple years ago, we saw a big change with that LS5 carbon. This is really gearing up, taking it to a whole new level this year. So, LS5 got some really great feedback, but what was your goal when developing this pulse line?
Yeah, so we're always looking at new innovations in our skate line. We try concepts, things that may never make it to the market, and steel is stuff that we constantly work on. And we started finding some core materials, some different finishes, and some different ways of manufacturing steel that we felt like, hey, we can, we've taken some good steps in the past. This will help us take it, to that next level where we want and need to be as an industry leader. So for us, it's always about elevating our game and elevating the performance of players across the globe.
So it might look somewhat similar to the LS5, but this is a really, really big change inside and out. So what can you tell me about this new TI?
So big changes with the Pulse TI. Obviously, this steel here, the core materials that are being used is a new premium steel material. So, in terms of the way that it sharpens, for example, it's very easy to sharpen, a really good, easy material to get a good clean edge on for those sophisticated skate sharpeners that are out there. I think, from a performance standpoint, what people are going to feel is, that edge is going to be very strong, but it's also going to be maintained and have a little bit extra bite than you would have seen in some of our previous steels. And the reason why is the steel is coated with a titanium coating. So you'll notice that, it's got a very shiny finish. Actually, when I show it and when I have it on the screen here, you can actually see yourself in the background. So that titanium coating makes the outer edge of the steel a little bit harder and really kind of maintains the edge properties of the steel so that you don't have to sharpen it as frequently. So, just doing some work with some professional level players and going through my own experiences, this steel here, its edge properties are very, very strong. And in some cases, some players are noticing that they'll have to go down a hollow in their sharpening. So, that's, right then and there, you're definitely going to benefit from those edge properties. You're going to maintain that bite that you're looking for, but by going to that lower hollow, you're going to get a little bit more glide out of your skating performance as well. So again, a lot of changes happening even in our steel. We're trying to think of ways of kind of maximizing the performance all the way throughout the boot.
And we had talked about this in another video. You mentioned that you might need to go down in a hollow when that LS5 carbon came out. So maybe for that, Supreme loyalist, maybe getting the new ultrasonic with this new Pulse TI, would you say they still need to go down a hollow, or how would you maybe, describe to them what to experience?
Yeah, if you've adjusted your hollow with the LS5, most likely you're going to be very, very similar. I think the coating materials that we're using have a little bit more longevity to them. So if you've already made the adjustments, you're just going to, it's going to probably feel that very, very similar. It's, but if you haven't yet, you're probably going to want to test out with your current hollow that you use today, and then you'll notice the bite, and then maybe you kind of adjust down from there. Is basically the protocol that we say is, start where you're at, but if you feel that it's got a lot more bite, start adjusting down.
Yeah, and I can attest to that, dating back to the LS5, the first time I skated on the 2S Pros, but that's still out in New Hampshire, and I almost ate ice. So it is definitely noticeable and really exciting to see that you get that increased bite and hopefully get to decrease glide if you go down in the hollow. Now, the other big change is at the very bottom where the blade meets the ice. So what can you tell me about the new profiling we see on this new Pulse TI?
Yeah, so we've obviously built a relationship with ProSharp, who's one of the industry leaders in profiling, and we went through a lot of exercises with them and feeling different profiles and different geometries of steel and how that affects the performance on ice. So basically, what we're going down is a path of fitting your boot and fitting your steel based on your performance. So on the ultrasonic, as well as some the 3S Pro and 3S, what you'll notice is those skates come with a power profile built onto them. That power profile is modeled off of ProSharp's quad profile. So there's tons of profiles out there. And what we've noticed and what we worked with ProSharp is, that quad profile is very versatile. It's easy for people to transition into, but it also catering towards the power performer. It extends the contact surface of the steel in the mid portion of the steel. So you got more blade contact. So when you push off, you definitely feel like you got a little bit more power. With that being said, the geometry of the steel is different on the front and the back as well. So when you're in the corners and you're battling for pucks and different situations within the game, you're going to feel like you're much more balanced and much more stable on the skates. Now, with that being said, that's if you buy the ultrasonic. It comes already with that profile already on it. Aftermarket Pulse TI comes with the new geometry that we've applied. So it's got a little bit more taper in the front and a little bit more material on the back hook, but that is on a standard 10-foot radius out of the box. So the aftermarket runners are slightly different than what we put on the power profile. And what that allows for is, consumers to if you like a certain profile better than the other, you can still, find the right profile. But again, our relationship with ProSharp help us kind of fine tune the geometries, fine tune, the stability of our skates, and just applying the right profile for the Supreme family was a key learning for us.
Awesome. Such a big upgrade for, the steel that, hangs out at the bottom of your boot. We're seeing some big upgrades in the second price point too. This is technically the opening price point for the new Pulse line, but this is truly elite level steel. So obviously looks a lot different than what we see in the Pulse TI. So what can you tell me about the new Pulse?
So the new Pulse is kind of modeled off the TI. So it's that same high-end core materials that you would find on the TI. So again, quick and easy for the skate sharpeners to get a nice, clean, sharp edge on it. It's got a lot of great durability properties to it that you can be trusted with the Bauer name kind of put behind it. The biggest difference between the TI and the Pulse is the finish. So you'll notice that this one here is more of a silver color, but it also has kind of a mirror polish finish. So some players like steel with a coating and that extra bite that it gives. And some players like kind of a higher polish finish because they find like, hey, I find like I glide a lot easier and a lot better with that high polish finish. So it's kind of allowing you to get that same quality of steel, but with different finishes that really kind of give you the kind of the performance feel on the ice.
And the most important question of the day, style-wise, which steel is JD going with?
I go with the Pulse TI. I've always loved the look of the black steel, but for me, I'm a guy that likes to have a lot of bite. I've always used a little bit more of a deeper hollow. So getting that bite was always a big thing. But for me, I've transitioned to kind of from a 1/2 inch to a 7/8 hollow. So definitely going lower and lower in my hollow, and definitely starting to feel it. So I think for me, the profile component, the stability that I feel, the balance that I feel on the ice, these are big things that I really, really notice. And we're very excited about the relationship that we have and building off of this kind of moving forward, because those guys have had 30 plus years of experience in profiling, and getting a deeper understanding for us is going to drive drive even more performance for players. And for us, that's what it's all about is, performance.
Yeah. And as someone who's only used traditional profiles, as soon as the rinks open up, I can't wait to take a pair of these ultrasonics out and really get a feel for, all the engineering that has gone behind. I mean, not just the skate, but really about that profile that we kind of talked about that is only available on that ultrasonic steel. And then maybe pick up a set aftermarket and get a profile to match and really just go see what it's about. Because like you said, I mean, it's taken the NHL over by storm, and they've been, at it for a long time. So they know what they're doing. And it's really exciting to see just how fine-tuned these skates are getting these days.
Yeah, it's, if I go back to my playing days, how far skates have advanced, and it just kind of blows me away. Like, when we have some team meetings on, what we have the capability of doing, and it's just, we keep trying to push the envelope and kind of build performance as much as we can.
Right on. Well, JD, thanks for sitting down and chatting with me today, and hopefully next year we can get back out there and shoot some on ice, but really appreciate you sitting down and doing this webcam with us.
Anytime, Chase. You know where to get a hold of me.
Yeah. All right. For you guys at home that want to check out more of this Bauer LightSpeed Pulse runners, make sure you go to icewarehouse.com.